Hepinize günaydın arkadaşlar.
Good morning, everyone, dear friends. I wasn't expecting to see such a crowded session, so it seems that payment systems is quite an important topic. What do you think? Well, it is important for me, but it is the case for the audience as well. And ladies here are higher in number compared to men. I'd like to give them a round of applause. Welcome. Great to have you with us. Ladies first. So we are talking about what awaits us in the new period for payment system, mobile payment systems. We will talk about that. And before that, allow me to talk about my professional background for the past 4 decades. And my first professional duty was related with credit cards, Anadolu credit cards. And during the time of credit cards, imprinter was one of the trends. Have you heard about that? How many of you heard of this? Okay, 5 people have heard this. Okay, imprinter was an object which looked like a printer, actually, a flat one. And our the credit cards in the past used to contain a carbon card. Do you remember that? It seems that we're peers then. And there was this carbon copy. There was a carbon paper in between them, and it really did dirty our hands. And then photocopies emerged, and we really were very happy because we thought our hands would remain clean. So this was the period that we went through. I listened to Mahfi in the previous session, and he is much more senior than I am. And during the term of imprinters, the first credit cards came to Turkey from abroad, and the first credit card operations we ran, and I think it was related with the former İmar Bank. Pamukbank HangiKredi Bank also adopted it, and I was involved in the feasibility studies of that. So for a long time right now, I've been monitoring payment systems, and I've been monitoring it with great curiosity. Mobile payment systems, especially in the recent times, have evolved considerably. I mean, there is a perception that we have come to the end of payment systems, but curiously, I did make a payment in China, in London, with my mobile phone, and I didn't really believe that it was working. And you can understand from my background, I'm a digital nomad here. And there are many digital born people, so you are digital natives right now. You're born into the digital world, and we actually migrated into your world after a while, and we have to learn fast, although it is a bit difficult. So what has been happening in your landscape? I mean, what kind of developments await us, and the most recent trends and the most recent developments and evolutions you've seen in your industry? Could you share some examples so that I can keep myself updated? As you summed up, Ali, yes, you all now know about our age. I didn't really wish that, but we were just putting additional memories into computers back then. So this is transformation. Technology is evolving, and new equipment, pieces of equipment come into our lives, enter our lives, and this has a direct impact on the automatic payment systems. And as you mentioned, plastic cards were being used, and we all have plastic cards in our wallets right now. But you also did not really know whether they were operational in China. And we have an app called Flash, and this payment could be made in a contactless fashion. You can do it NFC, but if you're using an iOS-based system, you can make the payment with QR. This world is headed towards this direction right now. Yes, you have plastic cards in your wallet, you have cash in your wallet, but I rarely carry cash with me because there are payment systems everywhere. So this is where we're headed. And GarantiBBVA and payment systems strategy that we've set is exactly like that. Our strategy is quite simple. We want to make sure that payments are made with no friction whatsoever. What do you mean by friction? okay, it is like you put your wallet, you take out your plastic card, you touch it or scan it in the post device, and you entered your password. Each and every incident is actually a step in the process of payment. But the world is going towards a time period where we carry mobile phones. And they are actually smart computers. They're not mobile phones anymore. And the greatest shift is happening like this. So the credit card is the source. And instead of a plastic card, you use it on a mobile phone and you upload the credit card on a mobile phone, and then the payment takes place. So you don't have to carry your wallet if you have your mobile phone. And on the other side, imprinters are now working electronically, and the provisioning was being taken via phone, but it is now taken automatically. So this is the machine. Do you think such a machine is needed now on the other side of the payment? Do you think we need such a piece of hardware? Because the seller on the other side also has a mobile phone. So these two mobile phones can touch with one another and the payment can take place. And when we look at it from this angle, we have a system that's in place and functioning. One part is JetPOS and the other is the digital wallet. So this is the app that we've used. Commercials, right? Well, of course I'm here to do some commercials. I don't really like introducing people at the outset of sessions, but Kerem Orbay is the General Manager of GarantiBBVA Payment Systems. And Onur, I'd also like to introduce him. He is the CEO of HangiKredi and HangiPara. Are you still a CEO at HangiKredi? Okay, great. We also have a company that we put on sale here. Well, I actually worked on the payment systems of that before the law was enacted. Electronic payment and electronic money and payment systems was an area that I studied intensively. Payment systems is quite an interesting topic for me, and let me put it this way, as looking at what Kerem said, when he says, I don't carry cash. Carrying cash in Turkey is really a burden in Turkey, especially there is this huge tendency to not issue any banknotes above 200 TL because they would also like to adopt a world which does not involve any cash.
And we're really pushed in this direction, but especially in this age, in electronic money systems or payment systems, developments are very precious, actually, starting from 2012 and 2013. I've been following that. And so a lot of developments occurred. And from your perspective as well, what were the 2 or 3 major developments for you? Well, from what Kerem just said, contactless payments have become really, really popular in Turkey. In terms of figures, for example, 4 out of 5 credit card transactions are contactless in Turkey in shops right now, and it will go a step further. And we see that being trialed in other countries. So at the payment stage, there is a friction, and that friction will be invisible. So basically, no payment step will be seen by the user. So you go to a shop, and then you go to the shop, buy things, and leave, and nothing happens in the sense that you don't really do anything. And AI has introduced a lot of novelties and facilitating features, and Mafia Ilm has also mentioned some of them. And what happens is that payments will be invisible, and that could accelerate the processes that are currently still in place. Personally speaking, here's what I see. Especially during the COVID pandemic, we saw an elimination of cash transactions. There were lots of conspiracy theories. But beyond all of that, I'd like to share with you something from an economist's perspective. The world will head to digital money, willing or not. It doesn't exactly mean crypto, but the digital money of central banks and cash will be unavailable. And I'm really talking about complete unavailability. And about 8 years ago, I wrote about the upcoming digital currency of central banks. a while back, but of course that's going to be very, very important for anti-fraud, but at the same time it will also control money supply, and at the same time being also cautionary about that. So what does that mean? And I'd like to tell you what that means. For example, people above 65 age, you want to increase spending beyond maybe among them, so you create money that will last only for 3 years, and the US distributed money during the pandemic, and it's quite similar. So you have $1,000 $1,000 for a year. If you don't spend half of it in the next 3 months, I'm going to get back 500 of that. So basically, you need to spend it. Otherwise, in 9 months, I'm going to take away 75% of it. Or you issue other money for younger people, those below age 12. Or, for example, you want to create money just for spending in the eastern part of Turkey. And, of course, digital central bank currency is the only way to issue such kind of specific spending policies. One of the important topics on the upcoming age is about embedded finance. I'm a digital migrant, so can you tell me a little bit more about what that means? It's actually in every stage of our lives. So when you think of all the shopping experience that you have online, it's not just about loans, and insurance is a part of it too, for instance. And it could be in any kind of shopping experience. So basically, you have a transaction, and if you buy insurance along with it, it's also an embedded finance. So it's not through a bank, but during a shopping transaction, it is an embedded service that's offered to you. And it's not just on the loan side, you see it in insurance as well. In open banking, it's going to develop even further, especially in the fintech sphere. So basically, with their bank transactions and with their income and expenditure balance, customized offers will be given to the customers, both in terms of financial instruments and other products. Open banking in the upcoming term will be further leveraged by AI, and it will further accelerate the process. And I'm going to be quite curious. I'll be really looking forward to what we will experience, especially in terms of open banking. I'm a digital migrant, so I'm a little bit distant to that. I don't want people to reach my confidential data. BBVA Guarantee Bank. So it's a bank, but it's also a payment system provider. I know that I can guess only that you are using our data a lot, and you are likely to know me better than I do in terms of the money that I hold. Maybe I'm not managing my money as well as you manage my money. What should we expect in the upcoming months or years? We are now in the age of Web 3. Am I going to tokenize what I have and sell that to others? What's the marketplace looking like? How am I going to access the market? What should we expect in the new age? Kerem Orbay. Please, Onur, please do not copy and paste from what Kerem will say. Maybe Onur should take first. No. Onur has loan and money, but you are a bank, so you have payment systems, and then you have a vast infrastructure of credit cards, so you hold a lot of information. So in the banking universe, on our side and everywhere else, you have regulations because you have data protection law, and at the same time, the customers need to authorize marketing. As long as we have these authorizations, we utilize the data of our customers. But, of course, we're making a lot of use of AI. We use the buzzword AI, but I try to pay a little bit attention to when I say AI, because there's a definition that's not universal of AI. But at a stage where we are making a lot of use of AI. Data is very precious. We're trying to get to know you, and we need to categorize data into two. So you have historic data with us, and then we have instant data. So you do something at a specific moment, and that's your instant data. Especially in payment systems, we have your historical data. We look at that, and then we predict, for example, the journey that you will take. So we profile you based on your historic transactions, and we try to predict your behaviors. Of course, we work on that. And what's also important is that if I capture a piece of data from you, then maybe I'm on a trip, maybe I'm at work. So maybe if I have seen that you left the country, it's a very important data for me in terms of payment systems. I'll tell you, well, you're abroad right now. You're going to make spending outside of Turkey. Here are the various cards that I can offer you. If you use these cards, you will have such and such benefit. I should inform you of that because payment systems is a vast world. So there are loyalty programs. I do not expect you to know of them, so I remind you of their existence. This is very important. And I believe that everyone in the industry will try to excel themselves in that specific area. So both on the software and hardware side, data will be utilized in a maximum way. But instant data capturing is also very important. You have to have the right capability. So where are you sourcing that data, for instance? I believe that new initiatives and technological developments will really matter. We will really see further development there. And again, both in terms of banking transactions and payment system, there is another thing that matters a lot. So you process the data. It could be historical or instant data. So you get that data, and through what channel are you going to reach the customer? And that's another side of the equation. So maybe you'll give them a call. Maybe you'll send them a digital notification. Do you see where I'm going? So you need to diversify your communication channels, and you need to do the right timing as well. So that's very important. So at what moment, through what channel, in what way you're going to reach the customer. So you decide on that based on data, and it's all about processing that data really well. Maybe you need to have a GSM operating company, or you need to find another way to reach the customer. So we are discussing that with fintech companies. It doesn't really have to be a GSM operator, because on the fintech side, there are substantial solutions available, and we are negotiating with some companies as well. We want to be their clients, and we're looking for options to collaborate with them. So I believe that fintech companies can provide us with a lot of data. They could be service providers of data. At least in our business, that could be quite relevant. Onuruz, do you want to really copy from him, but we want to hear new stuff from you? I'll give you another perspective. So here's what we want to do in the upcoming term. On the open banking side, we want to utilize data to generate scores. At the core of what we do, of course, is data. So we're talking about credit ratings. So we generate a rating for you based on your financial payments, but it's about your bank movements, bank transactions, and credit card transactions, and your credit score can be diversified. So it's about 20% in Turkey, about 30% in the world. So financial scope needs to be developed. There are a lot of people out there. Well, I've also worked in branches of banks. There are lots of people who do not even have credit cards, but at the same time, they have regular rent income every month. They want to leave the country, but they cannot buy a credit card. They cannot get a credit card because they don't have historical data. But we need to have maybe a completely different way of rating generation system, and that's what we're going to focus on. So, for example, if you integrate a potential customer in the ecosystem, they will see the benefit of open banking, that's exactly where we're focusing our attention to. So based on what's already out there in terms of their payment performance, we want to come up with a new score for customers. We want to come up with the right guidance and the right directions for the customers. To take things a little bit further with your business. So we're talking about financial, because we're assistants. We call ourselves assistants. So what am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm making a mistake. Maybe it could be a mistake for me if I'm paying off my credit card bill on time. Since 1986, I have been holding a credit card from a bank's Ulus branch. So I got that credit card in 1986. It's still been active. And that branch called me just once all this time, just to provide with them with a missing document. I said to them, maybe you can come and visit me. I'll give you the document, because I am not going to come to your branch, because I don't want to be treated this way. If I've been your customer for 40 years, do not invite me to your office. I did not pay off my credit card bill 3 times in 40 years. Once I didn't have enough money. So I've never really spent the money that I did not own. I never received any loans and did not have any money. So I'm actually not a very good customer. Because if you had any gaps out there, that would be quite nice for us. Yeah, we're talking about GarantiBank, right? So maybe, is it possible that I've been doing something wrong? I don't think so, but maybe. So if, for example, you issued me a loan, if you came up with a proposition to me, and especially, for instance, I'm going to ask you about loyalty cards, but here's my question. How can I be better? How can I do one thing better? It could be tokenization, it could be with AI. Do you have anything for someone like me, or are we heading in that direction? Technically speaking, in terms of financial literacy, I can consider myself an undergraduate, but maybe I'm also making mistakes. Or maybe I'm making a mistake in today's world. I could be relevant in the past, but maybe today I'm doing something wrong. So can you maybe give me an idea about what I could do better? Yes. To give you a tangible example, think of a user. They're going to make a substantial amount of school payment, and you're going to see that in the credit card bill of that customer for 3 months. And so you can say that to them. Well, if you use this loan for an X amount of time, you will not be paying off interest on the credit card. And here's what we offer you, because the school payment is above your revenues. So again, this is exactly a tangible offer for them. So I can really capture the customer in the right point, because they're already financially literate. If we come up with the right proposition at exactly the right moment of need of the customer, we'll head to a different direction. So I guess that could answer your question. About loyalty. So we have lots of credit cards and we have bonuses, etc. I have a colleague that I work with very closely, and they have a Facebook group of 200 and 300 people, and they don't allow anyone else in, and they give each other tips and about spending and what could be of most benefit for everyone. Do you feel that you have reached a saturation? I believe that it's quite important. It's not saturated yet. It still has room for development. And you have to look at it in 2 ways. Sorry, it looks like I'm advertising, but what I know best is my own bank. Well, of course, GarantiBank is expected to do that. We're here, right? So we should advertise a little bit. So we have card programs. And the loyalty part of it, I guess we are the richest in the industry. So we have Bonus Card, we have American Express, Shop and Fly, and Miles and Smiles. So Bonus Card is our own brand. And that's a massive function. So we had our imprinters and we had everything from paperwork, and now we're digital. And that was revolutionary when we transitioned. Loyalty programs. So Bonus Flash app, the wallet, has certain campaigns. So you can actually join campaigns where they benefit you most, and you can follow in real time. So we have wallets, right? Wallets are a thing of the future. That's why we're investing on that side. We're going to shape your options, but let me link it to data. Wouldn't you like an American Express or guaranteed bonus card in your pocket, and then to know better what card to use in what store? So that's a teaser for you. So if we make use of data, you will know what card to use where for the biggest benefit. Just to add on top of what you said, we have more than 10 million people for financial services to us every month, and we ask them about what they do, and they still wonder what credit card to use in what circumstance. They need to be consulted on that. In open banking, yes. As long as you know what credit cards I have, you will tell me, right? So you want me to give you the data, right? I'd like to remain a bit closed off for a bit. So I suppose we have exceeded the time allocated to us by 52 seconds, but thank you very much. This was a very successful moderation, and thank you very much.